What up, you guys? Welcome back to the Dre Files, featuring yours truly, Andre. But you know, we're besties and all, so you can call me Andre. And if you are my bestie and you subscribe to this channel, then you know before we start the video, we gotta do a promo. And today, guess what I'm wearing? I'm wearing my sightless tee. The back of it. The back is supposed to represent the eyes that are covered in the front. I don't know. I thought it was cute. It was some random idea. I don't know. But if you do want to cop one, you can go cop one today at ariandrellc.com. That's ariandrellc.com, okay? Go copy one. Support me. Everything gonna be fresh, new, and you know what I'm saying? Exquisite. I do want to go ahead and get into today's topic because it's something that really threw me off. So the other night, right, I had a random dream, and I don't know about y'all, but my dreams be vivid and so real and so like out of the ordinary sometimes. I'll say that. So this is how my dream started, right? I wake up in the middle of the night. Lights is flashing and going outside. There's a bunch of noise and stuff from coming outside. So I'm peeking out my window. I'm like, what's going on? What's going on? Just to turn around to my door being busted open and I see E.T. Not E.T. for real, but like a E.T. looking thing. It come into my room talking about some blah, 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 blah. I'm like, what the heck did you just say? Next thing I know, they're busting my donies down. The alien is probing me at this point. Because what? In the midst of it busting my donies down, it stole my essence, my identity, what makes me me, and turn themselves into me. This was kind of weird because you were an alien and you just bust my donies down and then became me. How does that work? So I'm sitting there confused as I don't know what, and they just leave. Next thing I know, the next following day, they're literally famous. They're literally in a movie. They're famous. And the crazy thing is even though they were famous and they still look like me, I couldn't go out in public and be recognized. Like, I literally became a homeless person in my dream while they were famous, living with my face. It threw me off so crazily, but it also got me thinking, like, what if, the big what if aliens are real? And what if aliens have taken over certain famous people that we see? What if aliens live among us and are some of the people that we support and we're behind and we just love to death? Like the funniest people in the world. What if they're an alien? Who knows if aliens exist? But to have this vast universe, and you mean to tell me that we're the only competent beings that can communicate and talk and function in a community? No, that's not possible. Like, there has to be other people, other beings, other things that thrive just like us. And who's to say that they haven't had more technology to be able to come to our planet and discover us? Just like we go to other planets or go to the moon and stuff like that. What if they've already done that to us and we just don't know it? Like, take Superman, for example. Yes, this is a fictional character, but he was an alien. He got sent to Earth because his planet was destroyed. And he grew up as a human, lived as a human, got treated as a human, just to turn around and have superpowers, just to turn around and be like one of the biggest, baddest like superheroes in the game. My dream just really got me thinking about all things like alien or all things like otherworldly. Like, what if, you know? I'm not really sure what dreams are, but I would love to think of the idea that dreams can show you a doorway into another reality or answer questions that you didn't really think about. Sometimes I be thinking in my dreams, I'm going to alternate realities because it be a world just like this, but certain things are different and I don't notice it until I'm in there and I'm like, oh snap, this wasn't how this was supposed to be, or this isn't how this is. And then when I start picking up on stuff, that's when I'm like, oh snap, I'm in a dream. And then that's when I wake myself up. But I'd be so scared when I wake up because I'm like, dang, it feels like I've just ran a marathon. Like maybe I just dimensional traveled and I'm back now. And I'm like, oh my gosh, heart palpitating because I literally was just in a different universe for like a whole night. You know, I feel like dreams can literally open that doorway for you that you never really thought about, because your your mind is fully active while you're dreaming. Like, yes, it's at rest, but it's fully active in creating different things, different scenarios, things you never thought about while you're awake, because you didn't have the energy to think about while you're awake. And I don't know, it's just so weird to think about that. Maybe your dreams could be you actually just experiencing life in a different reality, or experiencing whatever's going on in an alternate reality. I love the idea that there are alternate realities, and that since we are the same person in different realities, we can experience it all at once. Have y'all ever seen Everything Everywhere All at Once? The way she's able to pop into the different versions of herself in different realities, but she's like the only one that could do it. In my mind, in my world, I'm her. I'm the one that can click between realities. I, in my dreams, go to different realities, experience life in my alternate reality, and then come back and wake up and be myself. I just feel like dreams can like open your mind up to a whole world of possibilities, whether it be alternate realities or just opening your mind up to different things that you never really thought about, or just different scenarios that literally you never really thought about. But yeah, the dream just threw me for a whirlwind, and I'm literally just like, time and space. Oh my gosh, what's real? What's reality? What's not real? Like, that's all I've been thinking about recently, because like space is big, time is never ending. So like, how do we know for sure that all these things aren't going on at once? How do we know that there's not other lands, communities, worlds, and people out in the universe besides us? How do we know that there's not other realities that are living simultaneously, but in different little versions, like little things in each version has tweaked? Every time you make a decision, you create a new reality. So like, imagine if you just could connect with all those realities. Like, I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this, but that's the type of like hole that I've been in since I've had this dream, okay? I'm kind of just like all over the place, as you can see. But yeah, it's just so fun to think about, because I would love for that to be true. And also, I would love to find the reality where I am famous and I am helping the world and I am making the world a better place, and hell, might even be president. Okay? I feel like I would make a better president than the one we have now, but that's all the political I'm getting into it. But you know, we're not going to say too much on that. But side note, right? Imagine if looking into a mirror, you're looking into the reverse version. You know how they did in Us, where they had the carnival mirror, but it was actually just your girl on the other side? What if it's something like that, where it's literally an alternate universe of you, but living through the mirror? That would be creepy. That would be creepy. And sometimes I'll be testing my reflection. I don't know if y'all do that, but I'll be testing my reflection all the time. I'll be sitting in there like, you ain't move fast enough, like, or something like that, just to see. But imagine though, if that was just an alternate reality and we're just living simultaneously, but on opposite ends. Like, that's just so cool to think about, but also scary, because you never know if those like other entities or other beings are like evil or bad. Like, yes, they might be you, but they might be evil or bad. Or to go back to the alien thing, what if they're just aliens, not aliens, but like, what if they're just a different entity pretending to be you, and it looks like you, sounds like you, talks like you, moves like you, but it's not you? I don't know. Sorry. This was just my little mental dump of the day, because I just don't know how to process this dream. It kind of took me for a whirlwind, and I don't really know what it means. But enough of that extraterrestrial, multidimensional alien talk. We have a dilemma of the week, y'all. We finally got a dilemma of the week. So let's get into it. But before we start this dilemma, if you yourself have a problem that you want to address, a situation that you're going through, or something where you need an extra ear, an extra eye on the situation to help you assess it, go ahead and click that link below and fill out a form. Go ahead and send your response to me and allow me to answer your questions, answer your dilemma, or give you just another eye for the situation to help you understand it from maybe a different point of view. Who knows? But let's get into it. Now, this one doesn't have a title, so we just gonna start reading, okay? So I met this girl, we gonna call her Armani, several months ago, and we hit it off. Everything about her was just wife status. The conversation, the laughter, the energy, the sex. I wanted to make things official, ask her to finally be my girl. But before I could, she got a job offer a couple states away. It was what she always wanted, so I couldn't stop her. But I also had stuff going on down here that I couldn't follow and leave to be with her. So she left, and long distance didn't suit us. So we fell off. Sad case, because this girl was everything I wanted in a woman. Aww. A month later, I met someone new. Vibes were good, but nowhere near what me and Armani had. But eventually we fell for each other and made it official. Fast forward to a couple weeks ago, my homegirl was having a birthday trip in another state. And when we made it there and popped into a club to celebrate, guess who I see in the middle of the dance floor? In her own world, Armani stood looking as beautiful as ever. I obviously said hey because we didn't end on bad terms, but what I did not expect was for us to fall back into things like it never changed. And one thing led to another, and she was one of the people me and my friends invited back to the crib to chill and hang. One thing led to another, and I completely forgot I had a girl that night. Here's my question. I feel more for Armani, but I also feel for my girl. If I stay with my girl, I'm going to have to tell her about Armani. If I leave to be with Armani, then I'm going to have to break this girl's heart. I don't want to hurt either of them, but I don't know what choice to make. What should I do? So. Basically, you met somebody, hit it off, but before you can make it official, she had to leave and go states away. You meet a new girl about a month later, hit it off. Not as good as y'all hit it off, but you hit it off still and become official. You go on a B-Day trip with your friend. Y'all go to the same state that Shorty in. See her. It's like old times. Everything is, yeah. Okay. So, based off of what you have told me here, the clearest answer is Armani. I'm sorry, but the way you're describing this person, it sounds like Armani is the choice. Armani is the one that you want. Based off of, in different ways, you are saying that she's more than the girl you have now. Case in point, a month later, I met someone new. Vibes are good, but nowhere near what me and Armani had. Then you say, I feel for Armani more. You already know who you want. You just need somebody to co-sign it. And honestly, I'm here for it. I co-sign it. Go get your girl. Go get Armani. Go travel them states. Go cross them state borders and go get your girl. Because it sounds like the energy, the vibes, and everything was there with Armani. And you tried to replace it once she had left, and it wasn't the same. It wasn't where it needed to be for you to be like, that's wife status. Because I ain't hear you say that your girl was wife status. But I heard you say that about Armani before y'all even got together. So based off of what you're telling me and the way you're wording this thing, it sounds like you like Armani better. The fact that as soon as you see Armani, you can lose sight of the fact that you got a girl back home. And y'all back to bumping. I think the obvious answer is Armani. But playing devil's advocate, maybe this is just the situation that you wanted to bring to my attention, and that's why you're giving so many details about Armani. You could really like this girl over here. But based off of that last line right there, where it's like, I feel more for Armani, you know who you want. You just don't want to have to break nobody's heart, but you're going to have to, especially if you want to be with your girl. If you want to stay here, you're going to have to tell the girl that you're currently with. And you're going to have to be open and honest, and you might still end up losing her because cheating is a big thing. You know what I'm saying? But if you break it up with her so that you can go be with Armani, you're still going to hurt her. So somebody's still going to get hurt. either way it goes. Like, she's going to be hurt either way. If you choose to stay, if you want to stay with her and you tell her the truth, she's going to be hurt. If you break up with her so you can go be with Armani, she's going to be hurt. Either way, your girl currently is going to be hurt. The real question is, how do you feel? How do you feel? Do you feel fully satisfied with Armani or fully satisfied with your girl? Based off of how you're describing it, you might feel a little bit more satisfied with Armani. And that's okay. You just have to be able to make that choice and stand on it. Be able to tell her what it is and what it ain't. Now, if you are planning on breaking up with your girl, you can save her the heartache by not telling her that you cheated on her. You can literally save her the heartache by not telling her that you cheated on her, because she don't need to know that if you're about to break up with her. Just break up with her. You know what I'm saying? Save her the heartache. But if you do plan on staying with her, you have to tell her, and it could still lead to her being in heartache, and y'all could still end up broken up. So the choice is honestly yours, but it already sounds like you made the choice. You just need somebody to co-sign it, and I'm here for it. Go for our money. But I do hate the fact that you gotta hurt somebody, though. And I know you don't want to hurt somebody, but that's kind of the situation that you're in. Either way it goes, you're going to have to. You're going to have to hurt the girl that you're with. So it's up to you whether you want to take that risk and go be with Armani, or take that risk and try and stay with your girl. I don't know. But if it was me, I would break up with her and go be with Armani. Especially if everything is clear with you now. You said before that you couldn't leave. You couldn't leave because you have stuff going on. But if everything is clear now, and there ain't no reason, nothing holding you back, baby, you was already planning on doing it before. You basically were saying that there was stuff that was keeping you here, and that's why you didn't follow her. So if those things weren't in order, if everything's in order now, what's stopping you from following her? I mean, come on. And in every instance, you've been saying that she's better than the girl you got now. So you might as well pick Armani. But you're going to have to hurt the girl that you're with. I don't know. That's just my opinion. But it sounds like you've already made the choice. You just needed somebody to co-sign. So I'm here for it. I'm here for it. So yes, that was a good little dilemma. And not gonna lie to you, it sounds like y'all some lesbians. Y'all some lesbians. Because this sounds like some lesbian. I'm trying not to cuss. Y'all see it? Y'all see it? But this sounds like some lesbian stuff. I don't want to put a gender or anything to it, because it could be a non-binary or a masculine. So, you know, never mind. But yeah, it's given very LGBTQ relationship. You know what I'm saying? It's given very LGBTQ based off of how quickly you said you wanted to marry and move across state lines. And two, the fact that if this was a straight man and woman relationship, ain't no woman gonna let her man go across state lines with his homegirl alone and not tag along. So boom, based off of those two things right there, this is a LGBTQ relationship. It's gotta be. And you're following me. So you gotta be LGBTQ. I mean, no, I'm kidding. You don't have to be. You could be an ally. We love allies. But yeah, you want Armani, and it's okay, Bookie. Go get your Armani. Anyways, so boom. To close out this video, I wanted to talk about this book series that I'm reading. A couple videos ago, I told y'all I was going to start reading A Court of Thorns and Roses. Did I read it? Yes. Did I read the second book? Yes. Am I on the third book? Yes. So let's talk, let's discuss. And if you want to join my book talk Discord, link is down below, because I'm finna start reading books off the walls. I said my goal was 6 books this year. I'm on 5. And it's only month 2. Pretty sure I can fit in another book by the end of the month, making it 6 books in 2 months. So this whole 6 books a year is starting to look like about 50. So we're going to be reading more. We're going to be talking about it more. And I want to discuss books and stuff with people, especially like-minded people who like the same type books as me. I like fantasy books. I like love books. I love romance books, you know, stuff like that. Stuff that gets your heart flowing and makes you think more creatively. If you get too real, the world is already sad enough. I don't need real. The world already sucks. I don't need a book that talks about the world sucking. I need fantasy. I need love. I need things to look hopeful for, things that you want in life, you know, that just make you want to smile. Anyways, in this series, let's get into it. And if you don't want any spoilers, please feel free to exit off the video now. You've watched long enough and I appreciate you for being here so long. Mwah. See you. But if you have read the series and you want to hear my synopsis and what I'm getting from this, stay tuned. So boom, book one. We meet Feyre and we see how her, a human, and Tamlin, a fairy, come to be and how they became in love. All while their story is going on, we find out that in this fairy world, the fairies have lost their power. It was taken away by this lady named Amarantha. She tricked them and basically stole all their power. Not all their power, but like a good majority of their power. They could still use it, but very, very low to what it is when it's full force. She stole most of their power, and the only way that they can get rid of it is if Tamlin finds a human girl who hates fairies and gets her to fall in love with him and claim openly that she says, I love you. He had 50 years to find a human girl who hated fairies and would fall in love with him. So he thought that was going to be Feyre. And through their story, through this book, they fall in love. They have their connection. Tamlin and Feyre are having their little love story. But then Rhys comes into the picture where he met her one time and was like, oh snap, who are you? And tries to interrogate Tamlin, see what's going on with Tamlin in his court. But that's when he figures out who Feyre is. She gives him a fake name of her friend that used to live down the street from her back home. And he goes and tells Amarantha. And Amarantha's thinking, okay, boom, I gave him this curse that if a human girl says, I love you, and then he has this human girl in his, oh no, we can't have that. We can't have that. So she sends people out to go and get this girl. But once Tamlin realizes that Rhys knows and he's about to tell Amarantha, he sends Feyre away. He's like, you need to go home. I need you protected. Go home, go home, go home. This was 3 days before his 50 years was up for him to get her to say, I love you. And before she leaves, he says, I love you. She doesn't say it back. So she goes home. Next thing you know, she figures out, my girl down the street got taken and her whole family burned to a crisp. What happened? What happened? What happened? Now she's remembering, oh snap, I told that person, I told them back in the fairy world what my friend's name was. I gave it as mine. Is this because of me? So now she's worried. Now she wants to go back to the fairy world to make sure everything's okay and then make sure Tamlin's okay. When she goes back, she figures out Tamlin and his whole court got taken up by Amarantha. Time was up. Time was up. Now you got to come and stay with me. Now you're my servants. Now you're my subordinates. You got to live with me because you didn't do it in time. That's what Amarantha's thinking. And she finds that out from a servant that was left behind. So now she's like, well, I got to go get my mans. She pulls up to the mountain that Amarantha is staying under. And Amarantha's like, didn't I just kill your lover? Who is this claiming to be your lover? Everybody's trying to deny it. Like, oh, that's not her. That's not her. No. And she's like, no, that's my man's. Like, I love him. Like, you know, here's what it is. And she was like, oh, y'all tried to play a game on me. Cool, 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 cool. Well, I got some games for you. You can either answer this one question and free everybody in this court from this magical power and stuff like that right now, immediately. Or you could do these 3 trials and I will release everybody. And she's like, all right, bet. Let's do it. Let's freaking do it. So the first one, it's a trial. She got to fight this big old worm. It murks her. She's hurt. She's bloodied. She's broken. She thinks she's on the verge of death. Rhys comes in there like, hey, I can heal you, but you got to make a deal with me. You got to come and visit me 2 weeks out the month. She's like, what? That's too much. What? They narrow it down to 1 week and they come to an agreement. You spend 1 week out the month with me and I will heal you right now. He heals her. Now, because they've made this agreement, she has a visible tattoo of their agreement on her arm. And that's also like a bond between them. So now they have some sort of connection internally, mentally, all of that fun good stuff. So boom. The trials keep happening. By the end of it, she defeats all the trials. But Amarantha's like, oh, I didn't put a time limit on when I said I'd release him. I just said I'd release him. Now we gonna basically murk you for winning because you shouldn't have won. So now I gotta murk you. So she tries to kill Feyre. Whole time, Feyre's like, you know what? The answers are clicking. She finally answered the question. And that one, the question she said would immediately let them go, ended up immediately letting them go. And because she answered the question right, Amarantha got scared because Tamlin immediately got his powers back and murked the absolute crap out of her. But because Amarantha was beating her so bad and broke her neck, Shorty died. Shorty died. But because she brought everybody's power back in the fairy world, the 7 High Lords all gave a piece of their power to her and brought her back to life as a fairy. This human girl is now a fairy. That is book 1. Book 2, we started out with Tamlin and Feyre going back home, and Tamlin's scared. They're both having nightmares, but different versions. Tamlin is reliving the fact that she just died. He's going through his own mental turmoil. Feyre is going through the fact that I just died, yes, but I was also tortured and like whatever was, and being locked in this cage and being locked in the dark and just being suffocated and all of this stuff. Like she couldn't get out. There was just a lot going on. Mentally, she was having so many dreams and frights about what was going on down under that mountain. But instead of Tamlin giving her the freedom that she had before all of this happened and letting her go out by herself or letting her go out with just one guardian or whatever, now he's gotten her locked down. After a while of her kept getting locked down and in this house and stuff like that, the only time she was able to leave was once a week when she went to go finally visit Rhys and stuff. She wasn't messing with that stuff. She was not messing with it at all. But in her time while she was with Rhys, Rhys told her everything. Rhys was honest with her. Rhys allowed her to do whatever she wanted. And Rhys also taught her how to do things that she didn't know how to do, like read. So boom, Tamlin keeps locking her down. And then one day it just gets to be too much. One day he literally locks her in the house. He locks her in the house and she's screaming and she's crying and she's having a panic attack. And she's like, somebody help me, help me, help me, help me. It's going down the bond over to Rhys. Remember last book, the tattoo, the bond. It's going over to Rhys. Rhys sends somebody in to come and get her. Because I think it was some type of rule that he couldn't come and get her himself. Anyways, they come and get her, steal her over to the court. She's like, I'm never going back. I hate being locked down. Like, it just made me feel so suffocated. And I hate this man. And da-da-da-da. She was mad. She was pissed. Because why would you lock me down like that? Knowing what I've been through under that mountain. Whole time, back in Tamlin's world, he's like, oh, snap. My shorty just left me. What? We got to get her back. Okay, boom. So he's searching for her. And while she's over here living it up with Rhys like being open, honest with her, telling her about things that she didn't even know, telling her about like the world and stuff that she had no clue because Tamlin kept all of that hidden from her. He never wanted to tell her anything and just kept her in the dark. And as this docile person that was supposed to just be a princess and be dressed up and throw parties and all of that stuff, she was not messing with it. So boom, she's over here living it up with Rhys. She decides to send Tamlin a message. Hey, I'm safe, I'm fine, but I'm not coming back. He says, bump that, you're coming home. So he sends people out to get her. Again, those people come up and she's like, I'm not coming home. I'm not coming home. I don't want to come home. Tell him that, okay? I'm not coming home. I already told you that. He said, bump that. We're not doing that. I'm going to go to the enemy. The enemy, the one that's over Amarantha. The Amarantha was his commander-in-chief. He went to the enemy himself and said, hey, what do I got to do to break this bond between my girl and Rhys and get my girl back? Enemy's like, oh, well, just allow me to use your land and go use your land to go into the human world and basically rewrite history, rewrite the world. Excuse me? And Tamlin was like, you know what? That's a good idea. That's a great That's a great plan. We're going to do it. Excuse me? She already told you twice that she was not coming back. And you still could not fathom that? He lost so much control of not being able to have her because he wanted her that he forced her to come back. It was crazy. So the ending of this book, right, was when she finally finds out that Reese and her are mates, and they, you know, their love is blossoming and all of that stuff. And then they're also trying to fight this evil person, the hybrid or whatever, however you pronounce it. And they're trying to fight him. So they go to, I guess, his palace or whatever. I'm going to just say his palace, and try to take this cauldron, which is the power source that's supposed to rewrite this whole world, that is going to start this war and whatnot. They go and try to take away its power by putting these two books together that they found and taking away its power. But in doing so, when they get there, they're ambushed. They're ambushed from all sides. They're ambushed by Tamlin and Lucian over here. And then you got some dude that's 500 years old that was brought back from the dead just so he can lead the army of killing off the human race. It was just so much going on at this ending, girl. But not only did Tamlin start this war, but when they get there, their whole team gets murked. And Tamlin comes out the shadows like, I just want my girl back. Excuse me? You sided with the dudes that just murked my whole team and you want me to come back? What? Not only that, somebody in Tamlin's court was like, hey, also, big evil guy, she also has some sisters you ain't know about. You should probably use them too. He kidnaps the sisters and throws them in the cauldron, which turns them into fairies. Her human sisters turns them into fairies. So not only did I tell you twice that I did not want to come back, but you took it upon yourself to go to the enemy and start a war in order to get me back. You've now murked my whole team that's trying to stop him from going to war to get me back. And now, unbeknownst to you, you have now taken my human sisters and turned them into fairies. Because in book 1, the 7 high lords of each court gave her a piece of their energy and power and essence in order to bring her back to life, she has the power of all 7 courts. So while she was over here with Reese, she was practicing her powers and stuff like that. So in this moment, she's like, oh my gosh, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? She sends out this light power that just shines really bright. In doing so, it breaks the shield that was keeping them trapped in there and allows her friends to be able to escape. But in doing so, she had to pretend. She was like, you know what? I'm going to pretend that that light was me breaking away from me and Reese's bond. I'm pretend that it was me breaking away from his bond. And then she went up to the high lord or the evil lord or whatever and was like, please take it away. I don't want it anymore. He tricked me, da 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 da. And Reese was over here like, no, playing his part. He was playing his part good because, you know. But then the High Lord basically took their bond away, the agreement that they made where he had to stay 1 week out the month. But he could not dig deep enough to take their mating bond away. They were mated and that stayed. He could not take that away. So she's pretending that he put her under a spell and forced her to be in this mating bond, and he did something to her, and now the evil High Lord has taken away that bond and she's back to normal. So she goes back with Tamlin, but also, not to mention, Tamlin's right hand, Lucian, just mated with her sister as she came out the cauldron. They locked eyes. He was like, that's my mate. So now we have a problem. Lucian has always been that open ear. He's always been that good person, the person who's trying to keep Tamlin in order from being crazy. He's the one that's trying to talk him down and all of that stuff. So he's always been somewhat of a good guy, but at the end of the day, he's a very loyal, and this is his high lord. So he's going to follow suit. He's going to follow whatever his high lord says, but at the end of the day, he does try every time to try and get him to calm down or to do things the right way. Tamlin ain't going for that. So boom, Feyre's back over there. Now we in book 3. That's how they end book 2, with the whole jumping and now we finding out that Tamlin made that Tamlin was the one who started this war and all to get her back and all of that stuff. We find all of that out at the end, and it's crazy. It pissed me off because Tamlin went to all these extremes just to get her back, even though she told him multiple times, I'm not coming back. I don't want to be there no more. Da 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 da. Boomski. We're in book 3. Haven't gotten too much of the way through. We're only just a little bit through. But so far, baby is plotting her revenge, okay? She was at that house plotting her revenge. She was being very silent. She was using her powers to manipulate. Not manipulate, but like conceal herself to where she knew where everybody was in the house because she put up like an air barrier or something. And she was able to pinpoint where everybody was in the house. She was doing things to like persuade people. She was just very like persuasive, or like, you know, she had a way with how she spoke to people in order to say something but get them to think that it was their idea and go forth with it. And at every turn she basically like made them look like crazy. So boom, the lady who sold out her sister, she's this high priestess. So she is supposed to have all this power and this holiness and have a direct line of energy with the cauldron or with the mother or whatever of the cauldron. She doesn't, though. Like, she doesn't have the power as she would like to think she does. So with Feyre having her light powers and stuff, she's over here glowing and making everybody think she just got blessed by the sun on this special day and all of this stuff. So now everybody's thinking she's highly blessed. And then another situation happens to where keys go missing, and we find out that the high priestess stole the keys from a guard and gave it to some like evil, just evil animal, evil creature in order for it to come and ransack their court in order to regain control. Because she wanted to sit here and be like, hey, I want to warn you that I've been seeing a whole bunch of this near the edge, and the cauldron's telling me that we need to protect our forces and all of this stuff or whatever. And everybody's like, oh, okay, cool, we'll look into it and stuff like that. But then when it actually happens, they're like, oh, snap, like, we should have believed you, like, what happened? And then they figure out that it was his keys that go missing. He's about to get flogged for it. So your girl, Feyre, she already knew what happened because she was the one that kind of planted the seed or knew exactly what happened. And basically the high priestess went, knocked out the guard, stole his keys, and gave it away. She wanted to hear the guard say that himself. So she was like, I'll listen to your story. And he was like, it was her. She was the one who took the keys. And everybody's like, oh, well, the high priestess is like, oh, you're going to listen to him over your high priestess and da 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 da. She was basically just looking very guilty. And so everybody around started to see that she was looking very guilty. But Tamlin had 3 people from the evil lord's court who had came to like research some stuff about the land while they were there. And because in front of them, he didn't want to look weak, he still beat the guard and believed his high priestess. So in everybody else's mind, she's guilty, and he just sided with her against us, against the people who have been not only looking for Feyre all this time, not only searching high and low for her, not only doing everything for him and being here for him from day one, but you're gonna side with this priestess who just came in out of nowhere. You're siding with a evil lord who's trying to take over this whole court and hurt the human race. What? You're picking all of them over us, the people who've been here since day one? So Feyre is just like manipulating. She's manipulating this whole thing and made everything seem like she was this great energy, powerful being and stuff like that. And because of him working with the high evil lord and him taking sides with the high priestess, who obviously was wrong, obviously was guilty, and sided against them and all of that stuff. And I think her final straw was like telling them that she had ran away after battling 2 of the people that was from the High Lord's evil clan or whatever. Ended up killing them motherfuckers. But she battled them in self-defense, and he allowed them to attack her, and him and the high priestess are hiding it. That was the last straw for them. It was a lie, of course. That last part was a lie. But everybody was like, you know what? I'm seeing you for what you are. I don't like it. I'm leaving. So he has no court, no army, no nothing to fight with him. And that's the kind of where I'm at right now. She just made it back to Reese. And like when I tell y'all, I'm so happy that they made it back. I'm so happy that they made it back. Like you could tell they was going through it. But yeah, this book is good. I might have over explained, but my thing is, right? Tamlin is so mentally messed up in the head that he really thought, hey, I'm going to force you to come back and you're still going to love me. I'm going to force you to come back and everything's still going to be okay. Everything's not going to be okay, sir. Everything is not going to be the same. You're not going to get the person that you once had. You forced me to come back. Not only did you force me, but you started a war. Not only did you start a war, but you hurt my mate and all his friends and my family now. But not only that, one of the people in your court sold out my sisters and now they're fairies. And they hate fairies. So you've not only single-handedly messed up my life for me, but you still want me to come back? And you still think there's any sliver of chance in the world that we're going to be together? No, you're crazy. You're mental. And I get it. Tamlin was struggling with his own things, his own ideals, his own haunted memory of her dying, and he wanted to protect her in the only way that he knew how. But the way he went about it and the way he just wasn't listening to her or wasn't like trying to understand her was what was his downfall of their relationship. He literally single-handedly wiped out his only way of having her in his life because he wanted to be a overpowering lord. He wanted things his way and his way only. I was trying to make this a short, cute summary and then go on my little rant about Tamlin, but I ended up pretty much telling you the whole entire storyline. But yeah, I hate Tamlin. I love Reese and Feyre's relationship. He's exactly what she needed. He is the type of person who, one, listens. Wow. The bare minimum. The bar is low. Tamlin was already at the bottom because he wasn't listening. He wasn't giving her freedom, her choice. But he literally always asks her what she wants to do, always allows her in on all the things that's going on around her. Like he's not just gonna do things for her or say, oh, it's none of your business, like I'm just gonna protect you. No, he allows her to know everything. He allows her to have a say so in what happens to her. He allows her the freedom to do what she wants. He allows her to just literally like be herself. And also he doesn't hide from the fact that she's hurting. He allows her the space to talk about it. He allows her the space to like get it off her chest or to cry about it or to speak on it, or he talks about it with her, whereas Tamlin, he was going through his own stuff and they never talked. They completely ignored each other while they were both suffering in the same bed. They'd both wake up from nightmares and he did nothing to try and console her, and she was too in her feelings to even try and console him. They never said anything to each other. But Reese, he made it a point. I'm helping you. I'm fixing you. And he did it in so many different ways. So he just did a whole bunch of stuff silently and verbally and openly, to help her, and all in order to help her, and was very open about it and never really hid anything. And the things that he did hide from her, he eventually told her about and explained why he did it. And it wasn't like some back-ended reason like, oh, just because I said so. It was an actual reason, and they were able to work it out. So like, he's just everything she needed, and Tamlin was just not. And to see the comparison between book one, how we're like, oh, Tamlin, but like, you're kind of toxic, but like, Tamlin. To see Reese. To see Tamlin done stole me back, but now I'm manipulating and I pretty much have got everything under the bag. I honestly just wanted to talk about the book because I'm so obsessed with it and I just need other people to talk about it with. So like I said, if you want to join the book talk, join the Discord, because I need people to like go through this book with me, because it's been so many twists and turns and there's so many scenes that are just amazing. Like in this book, The third book, when she finally leaves Tamlin's court, and two of the people who are from the evil lord's court, two of the three, there was like the one that was the human from who was 500 years old, and then his two little niece and nephew or something like that. The niece and nephew, they were after, they had pulled up on Feyre using her magic to try and save Lucien, Tamlin's right hand man, from the high priestess who was trying to force him to have sex with her. And she basically used her magic to force her to never touch nobody again, and like mentally like mess with her mind in order to never touch anybody again. And if she does think about doing that, then she will feel pain and fear like somebody's chasing her. And they came in and was like, oh, so you got the, yeah, Lucien, you're sitting there looking confused. That's the same power we have. Yeah, you thought we didn't know? Bookie, we just poisoned you. We already knew that you were trying to leave today. We poisoned you and you're not going nowhere. She's like, oh, bet? I'm not going nowhere? While I still got my power, I'm fighting you. She, oh my gosh, the way they described the scene. So boom, she goes after the nephew. They're fighting. Boom, 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 boom. Whole time she's like, the nephew's holding his own. He's basically just trying to hold off long enough until the poison fully takes over and she don't have no powers and they could just take her back home. So he's like fighting, but he's not really doing full blows. And she's just like, I just need an opening. So boom, she sends her firepower, goes and burns the niece. They're twins. So as soon as she catches on fire, it catches his attention. He's like, no, no, not my sister. Da 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 da. Gives her an opening. She's boom. As soon as the niece finally, like the flames finally calm down off the niece, she's angry. She starts to try and lunge at Feyre. Lucien's like, oh, you're not just finna come from the back on my Feyre girl. I'm slicing your neck off. Sliced her neck clean off. Clean off. Buddy's like, oh my gosh, no, you did it. So now he said, bump messing with Feyre. He's going to Lucien now. He's like 2 feet away from Lucien, and Feyre just winnows, which is called like, it's almost like teleportation. She basically teleported right in front of the nephew as he was going to attack Lucien and stabbed him right in the eyes, killing him and laying his body right on top of his sister. If you don't think that's badass, like what? That was her ending scene. And then she dipped on him. She literally like manipulated that whole court into thinking that she's just this high, powerful person and that Tamlin is just this rude, awful person. Hell, she even allowed him to hit her. Not hit her, but like there was this one point in time where she had got him so mad that she knew he was going to lash out. And she allowed him to lash out, but she didn't like cover herself with a shield like she had did the first time that he lashed out. And she ended up getting hurt and bruised. And like the fact that everybody saw those bruises and could hear what she was saying and to know that she was right and he just lashed out on her and hit her. Everybody was like, oh my God, he's tweaking. And like it turned everybody against him. So it was just the way she did shit. And my girl she was thinking, she was manipulating, and it was crazy. And she took down the whole court. Nobody supporting him no more. But yeah, that's all I really have for the book talk right now. Okay. I am working on 3 of the 5. Okay. It's so good. It's so good. It's so good. If you haven't read it, I believe you should give it a read. I believe you should give it a read for sure. For sure. My summary didn't give it no type of justice. It's so much better when you give it a read. I promise. I promise. I tried not to give too many details so this wouldn't be too long, but it's long. And I pretty much gave the details, but I gave them in like a weird way and probably didn't include everything that was needed to make it make sense. So just give it a read for yourself. It's a really good book. But yeah, we're here with it, and I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I'm ready to see what happens next. But yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. I shall see you guys next Thursday, my bookies. But you know, before we go, I gotta give you a kiss of good faith and good luck and good energy for the week. But if you don't want that and you want to skip 5 seconds, by all means do that. But if you consent to a kiss, give me your face. And mwah, mwah. Oh, you're so amazing. You're so wonderful. And you're so beautiful. And I wish you the best week of your life. You have a nice one. And I shall see y'all next week. Toodaloo. Toodaloo loop. Toodaloo toot toot.